What is poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl DOPEaxxPANA, and today I'm going to be creating some super full mid-back boho braids, but I have a new technique that I'm going to be showing you guys today. And crochet hair, y'all, has honestly just come an extremely long way, and EayonHair is introducing their brand new crochet hair that is used specifically for boho braids. So I'm super excited to introduce this to you guys today. If you guys are familiar with feather tip crochet hair, it is pretty much feather tip crochet hair, but now they have string that is much longer, and oh my god guys, this is such a game changer. They sent me 5 packs of their water wave crochet hair, and this is actually in 14 inches, so we are going to be doing a shorter style today. To get a full look today, I'm going to be using all 5 packs of this hair, and this is what it looks like out of the pack. If you're familiar with feather tip crochet hair, then you guys will notice that this string is much longer. The old version of this hair I used to use for like Jada weighted braids or just regular crochet styles, but it didn't really work or make sense for boho braids because that string was so short. But this longer string is going to allow this hair to be braided in, and it's going to fall down the braid, and oh my god, it's a game changer. So I did take an old piece of the feather tip crochet hair just so that you guys can see how long this new string is. And guys, this was definitely a game changer. I would have never thought to use crochet hair to create boho braids. I was just like, why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. But I'm going to go over some of the benefits because even prepping is so much easier, guys. You literally just take it out the pack and lay it out on the tray, and not having to prep a bunch of boho hair and put product and separate those pieces is definitely a game changer in itself. That's going to at least save you an hour on your install time. Because I am doing these braids shorter, I'm going to take some 58-inch braiding hair and I'm actually going to cut it in half. I'm going to re-stretch it and feather it, and I'm going to be using this as my base for my braids. This is what my tray looks like when I'm done. This prep time took me 20 minutes. It usually takes me about an hour to an hour and a half. Now, when the company reached out to me, I was really wary about doing 14 inches because this is actually the shortest boho hair that I've ever used. But the 14 inches is very similar to 16 inches. And honestly, I didn't know it yet, but this was actually the easiest boho install that I have ever done. Not only just the length, but the ease of the hair. I was literally flying through these. Now, if you're curious about how to braid these in, I am going to be giving you guys a little mini tutorial in this. As always, I'm parting off the nape of the neck, and I am doing a medium size, so we'll be doing 2 rows at the nape of the neck and then 5 across the top on each side. And I'm going to show you guys how I stack this boho hair in. Now, one piece of this crochet hair is honestly like 2 pieces of boho hair, so even though you think those packs look a lot smaller than the normal packs, you're still getting a lot of hair, and I'm going to show you guys how we're going to braid these in now. So each piece of crochet hair is basically 2 pieces of boho combined by a piece of string. So we're going to braid in one side of that, we're going to braid down and pull the other side out. So right where that knob is, you're going to add it under your thumb. You're going to leave that piece out. You're going to continue to braid that piece of string down. And the amazing thing about this string being longer is that your piece is going to actually be fed down the braid. The only part of this that gets a little tricky is that you're going to be adding in a second piece before you take the end of that first piece out. And I know that's a little bit confusing, but you'll be able to feel when a boho piece ends because it has a little notch where it's holding the hair together. You can honestly just look too, and you guys will see that there's no more string to braid, so you just pull that out. Now, my favorite feature of this hair is that it is so easy to braid into the ends of the braids, and it feathers naturally. You don't need to use any type of hair glue to seal it, and it's a lot more secure. This was actually my favorite part about this because I feel like braiding in boho ends is super tedious and a little hard to do, a little challenging, so this definitely simplified that part of it. All I'm doing is tying a knot, and then we're good to go. That hair is pretty secure in there with that piece of string, and it naturally tapers off. Now, all 100% boho hair is reusable, but this one just makes that process also so much easier because after your takedown, you can just gather it together by the string and you're able to wash and reuse this hair. I absolutely love that because, guys, we go through a lot of boho hair, and boho hair is really expensive, and this is a high quality human hair, so you guys can definitely reuse this for a couple installs. And like I said, it already being pre-separated by the string just makes that takedown process a lot easier for you guys. Now, as I work my my way up to the top, I am going to be adding in more boho pieces. So those first couple braids, I added in 2 pieces down the braid and 1 at the end. As I work my way up to the top, I'm going to be adding in 4 to 5 pieces to create that fullness that we're going for. And I realized when I got almost halfway through her hair, I was like, damn, I've only used like a pack and a half of hair. So I really started adding those pieces in and really kind of layering them in there. And this hair turned out so full and so bomb. All right, let's continue with the benefits, because I know what you're thinking, like, are you done? And I'm not. So you guys can see how neat my braid is looking as I'm braiding down. You guys will not be getting any more flyaways that you typically get when you braid in that bulk human hair, because we're obviously not braiding in a bulky edge. So you don't have to really cut many flyaways. And I noticed that my boho braids were a lot neater. Also, you don't deal with a lot of shedding. So a lot of people have talked about shedding with boho braids over time, and because we're braiding in that string, you're pretty much going to experience no shedding in this process and throughout your wear. So now guys, you can see why this hair is a game changer, and you guys are seeing it on my channel first. I'm so excited to be able to roll this hair out with you guys. Because yeah, like I said, I'm not really a crochet girly, but this hair just makes so much sense. So I do want you guys to pay attention as I work my way up and I'm adding in more pieces, how many pieces I'm adding in. I'm actually stacking those boho pieces in. As you begin to braid those pieces in, you will start to feel when it's time to take a piece of hair out. And you're really not going to know what I'm talking about until you're in the process and doing it, because you'll be able to feel where a piece of boho hair ends, and you'll just pull that piece out, whether it's on the right or the left side. One thing that I really love is you can add in as many boho pieces as you want, and because you're braiding in that really thin piece of string, it's not really going to mess with the thickness of your braid or the width of your braid. So I really love that. I'm adding in a bunch of pieces, and to be honest, I didn't count how many pieces I added into each braid, but if I were to guess, by the time I got to the top, I was adding in at least like 8 pieces of the boho hair. You want to really pack it in, and don't be scared to add a bunch of those pieces in, because you are not going to run out of hair. Every single time I do boho hair and I'm using EayonHair, I'm always like, oh my god, let me just make sure I have enough. And I always am like, dang, I got a lot left over when I get about halfway. So you want to make sure that you're really packing those pieces in so that you guys can get that nice full Bora Bora look. Now I am working on my last braid. This installation altogether took me about 5 hours, and that was mainly because I was working with a new product. It was my first time, and obviously filming and recording. I think without filming and recording, this probably would have took me about 4 hours. But the best part about that is I didn't have to allot a lot of time for prep. You kind of just open the pack, separate those pieces out, and you're ready to go. So I absolutely love the way that this install turned out, and I love the timeliness of it. And y'all definitely cannot look back. Like, this hair is just literally a game changer for me. So I'm going to show you guys this hair dry and wet. You do have the option of not dipping your boho, and lately I've kind of been not dipping some of my boho looks. The water wave curls, these are kind of like a little bit tighter, so I don't mind dipping these, and the hair dipped extremely well, so I can't wait to show you guys that. If you guys like a lot more movement with your braids, I would recommend dipping it, but I do want to show you both because some people love that super full and fluffy look. Now lately with my full boho, I've been making sure to show my clients that their hair can fit beautifully and easily into one ponytail. This is really important to me because I know that it's a lot of boho hair, and I want to make sure that my clients know that they're able to style them still. And so yeah, at the end, I've always been showing them how beautifully and how effortlessly it can fit into one ponytail. This is the hair not dipped, and you guys can see how voluminous it is, how beautiful those natural curls on it are. I always love a dry look just because of the fullness and yeah, the volume that it gives, but we're also going to dip these just so, like I said, you guys can see a dry and a wet look. Always make sure you go through and cut out any of that synthetic braiding hair that's at the end of the braids. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dip these just quickly before we get to the finished look. I also want to just mention that I worked with EayonHair before, love their brand, love their company, and the quality of their products. This hair was bomb amazing. Any hair that I've ever gotten from them has been amazing. So as always, I'm gonna link their store in the comment section down below and also in the description section down below for you guys to check them out. They have bundle deals. Their website is pretty versatile. They have all different types of extensions, and yes, you have to try this hair out if you do any type of boho. So this is the wet look, guys. Love the way that this turned out. If you guys like this look, let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys would try this hair out, or you could see how and why this would be a game changer, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for supporting my content and watching my videos, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Big Pana tutorials, lives, reviews, yeah, all that. Big Pana, not the little one. Hey, what you mean? Big box braids on your top, yeah.